Okay, I know it's been a long time, and I wanted to come back, and I did a new website as well. I hope you guys enjoy it. Um, on here, I show you a video how you look around if you get lost and stuff. There's even a IMVU page, my page, Facebook, the IMVU group, all the stuff you need to do. This is the video just to help you navigate the website, which is pretty simple to navigate anyway. Just coming in here and choosing what category you want to look, like that. Okay, so now let's go for the tutorial itself. This tutorial will be, sorry. Okay, sorry. This tutorial will be about baking textures, okay? So this what we have here is the default room that they give now. I think it's the new ones they give. If there is any video, by the way, that is outdated, if any of those tutorials, my old tutorials, if you feel like they're outdated, they're not working, please tell me. If you need any new tutorials, just please tell me as well. Now what we're gonna start doing here, we're gonna delete those mesh. We're gonna delete the mesh. We're gonna leave everything else. Just gonna maybe the lights so it doesn't screw up. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna delete those lights. You can have all your lights the way you want after you're done with this, okay? And maybe the nodes. We don't need no nodes. Let's be honest, okay? There you go. I will leave everything else. We're gonna go here, right click, select child nodes, and we're gonna hide it. There you go. Okay, maybe at least leave the camera. Okay, leave at least the camera so we have kind of a reference. Okay. And I mean, where is the? Okay, select. And let me see it at least. What's going on here? Okay, there you go. And now select children and select children and now you're pissing me off. Children and now there you go. Okay. We're gonna make a box, always a box, guys. And there you go. This is the box. I'll make something small. Just for the tutorial. We're gonna convert this to editable poly. We'll delete the face and voila. So we're gonna start here. There's a few things you need to understand is baking for IMVU, it needs to be as simple as possible. It's very powerful even for IMVU, but it always needs to be as simple as possible. And I hope this tutorial will make you do your own work after you watch it. So first thing first, what we're gonna do is make sure we flip the normals. We should know that by now when we're making a room, right? So we're gonna flip the normals, make sure that the shadows are on the inside, the lights are on the inside. We're gonna collapse that and we're done with that. Now the second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go on a render settings, and there is something I want you to understand here is we're going to be using mental ray because it gives us more power, but you can use this with default scanline render. It works as well, it's faster, but it doesn't have so much quality as it has with mental ray. Okay, so what's going to happen here is just letting my volume a little bit up. Maybe it's too loud now. Just a little bit down. Sorry, we're just fixing a little bit the microphone there. The render quality, it's going to be right somewhere here. Okay, there you go. But on the menu will pop up, will be more easy to fix those things. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to create some materials here. We're going to put, we're going to make a box. We're going to turn auto grid on. We're going to make a box right there. We're going to make a sphere because, I don't know, it looks pretty right there. And we're going to make something a torus knot. Like a knot for your shoes. Okay, small but deadly. Okay, there you go. And right now, as you can see, the lights, there's no lighting. This is the default scene light from Max. This light, it's not supposed, it's not the light that will be the light that we will be using. The second thing we want to do is apply materials to this. And now this is where I want you to understand something. When you're applying, okay, we're gonna press M because we don't have our view, so we're gonna have to pop our view here. Where is the option? something I want you to understand is when we are making this, we're not going to use standard. We can use standard, but we're not going to use standard. We're going to use mental ray stuff. Okay, standard here. This map doesn't apply. A lot of those maps you're going to use in mental ray. But what I wanted to see here is on the material library, when you install Max, he asks if you want to install this library. On this library, you have a lot of things you can use, okay? And you can actually use those materials to get some cool textures, okay? So I actually want to try a few. I'm going to try a few. I haven't picked the map yet. So I just want to really try a few. Maybe this will be looking nice. Maybe it will not look nice. And I will use the default one. The default one for 3ds Max Mental Ray is the Archon design. We're going to use Archon design, for example, on this guy. And we're going to select and apply the selection, okay? I just try to make it a little bit better here. And I want this guy to be super reflective. I want it not to be super reflective, I mean, glow. I want him to glow. So it's glowing, and I can even choose what color it glows because this is a temperature. I can choose the temperature of the guy, and it will glow differently if I want to. I want him pretty white, okay? So we can get nice reflections and stuff. So now the ground, okay. Now the ground, we can try materials. We can use Archon design, but let's see if we can find something here on this. We have carpet, we don't want that. We have diamond rosette, I don't even know what this is. But we have a lot of stuff here. But maybe, okay, for the ground, since we're safe, we're gonna have the normal. We're gonna have the normal one, and we're gonna have like a whitish color or something like that. So we can grab all the lights coming out of it and stuff. Okay, so now we're gonna find some woods. Let's go find some wood here. Okay, we have American cherry, which is very beautiful, but it's a crime to use it nowadays. So American cherry, we can actually put this with diffuse color, probably. No, this lettuce, okay. So we can actually add this material to that guy over there. And this guy, we're gonna add, let's see what we're gonna add this guy. We're gonna add, I don't know, I just wanna try these materials. So metal maybe not gonna work. Mirror probably not gonna work as well. Remember, those materials, not all of them are going to work. This is for IMVU, remember? So we're going to be doing a diffuse map. So they need to be as simple as possible. Okay, so I don't want to waste so much time picking one. So I'm just going to go for like a tile. Maybe this will work. No, this is transparent. Transparent doesn't work either. Maybe a marble brown. Okay, marble brown on that guy, and we're gonna apply it. We select it, we apply it, and voila. So right now what we have nothing because we don't have the lights. So when we put lights, it will automatically convert this to a different scene. So we're gonna start with the mental ray. As you can see here, this is the ones you use for when you're making the room with your own lighting. But now for the baking, because we only need to do this once, we're gonna use those lights, the mental ray light. So we're gonna put a light right there. What's going to happen is this light not working, doing anything right now. So we're going to go here. We're going to go materials, make sure we realistic material with maps. And on top of it, we make sure we illuminate with scene lights. Okay, so now this bank. Now we have our materials like that. You can see this marble. This one is not very bright, but we have to go check it out. Why? And we can see our American cherry. Okay. First thing I want to do, I want to use strong colors to make a point here. Okay. Second of all, I want to see why the sky is not brightening the sky up. Okay. I want to know why are you not as bright as hell. I want to know why you're not self-illuminating yourself. Sometimes it's a challenge when something is not working. To make it work, it can be a challenge. So we're going to render first to make sure it really is not working out. It's actually working out. It was just not displaying for us right now. Okay. So what happened here, as you can look, this is like a neon look. This is what I want to show you. This, you probably already saw this in a few rooms. Probably what they do is they put like a line. I'm gonna do it really quick here. So for example, I select this line, that line, and this line. I create a shape from the selection, a linear shape in this case. And with this shape, which is supposed to be somewhere around here, let's see, is it box 1? No, maybe it's box 2 then. No, then what is this shape? Where is this shape, my friends? There you go, shape 01. It was right there. Okay, so with the shape Z1, I do a rendering. I do enable IMVU render, enable viewport, and then I can put like a lot of thickness in here. You can see something like that. And you can make an neon effect, and then on render you can hide this. But right now for this tutorial, I'm just going to do it quick and easy. I'm going to assign that, and when we render this out, it gives you that neon look that sometimes you see on the rooms. And this is how probably they do it. They probably did this. And as you can see, the walls, you see the reflection there. This is what we want. We want to see those cool reflections there. So you know that you don't have to double your geometry to get the cool result or a cool reflective type. Now I'm using materials, but remember you can use this with the material to get like the reflections and stuff, and you can put your own textures on it. Okay, I'm just using materials because it's the purpose of this tutorial. Now, talking a bit about lights, Omni lights. Okay, so Omni lights, we can use fire attenuation. I recommend always using fire attenuation. So what this does is we can choose what this affects. And for this tutorial, I really want to use crazy colors. So I'm going to go for the strong colors here. And like that. As you can see, it stopped bright. If I stop using, it's going to bright everything up. If I don't, just what I selected to be. Okay. We can choose if we have shadows or not. We can choose how strong this is right there in the intensity. Now we can duplicate this again. And on this side, I want, let's say this red crazy color. Okay. I know I'm destroying what I had before, but this is, I have, just to show you guys the power of this. And for the end, I just want to put a spotlight. And we're just going to put a spotlight right in there. We're going to make sure we grab our spotlight. We're going to put the spotlight on the torus. Is the king. And I want to show you some cool settings here of the spotlight. So when we go here, the same thing, we're going to put a different color here. We're going to put like maybe a pink. There you go, because the torus is the pink guy. We can choose how far this will go, like, the use, like how far we want the reflection to go. If you want to go crazy, if you want a more smooth, we have a full control over here. So we want to make something nice like that. And of course we have how strong it is, of course, how strong it is. We have the type of decay. If we want this to decay over time, inverse square probably is the best. If you put a decay, you have to raise this a lot, okay? So remember that if you put a decay, you need to, make the light disappear over distance, but you need to raise the multiplier a lot. So on the spotlight parameters, you can choose how big is the beam, like that, the inside beam and the fall off. The fall off is like, the fall off beam is like, it's going to be a blurring like after the light exposing out of it. Like, when you have a flashlight and you point to a wall, you get the center point more bright and then the sides blurry. You can choose to be a rectangle, and you can choose on the aspect here, you can choose which aspect you want. You can even choose a bitmap fit. You can put a bitmap, bitmap, black and white bitmap, and choose the way this looks. Okay, so you can see like the window crack. There's a lot of options you can do with this light effect. I'm just going to please circle for now. That's pretty much everything you need to know about IMVU simple workout, okay? As you can see, it already looks very beautiful. It has like a very cool neon look to it, doesn't it? And just a few seconds, a few details, and bang, we got it. It's just so quick to do this with lighting and making your rooms or furniture look absolutely amazing. Now, how do we transport this to IMVU? It's why I'm here. So the question is, do we want this to be derivable or not? And that's a big question you need to ask yourself. If you want this to be derivable, maybe you just want to not bake the texture. Maybe you don't want to use this process, because I believe this process is more for the end result. Or maybe if you can do everything white, or maybe you just want to add the neon effect on the little walls, but you need to remember, to derive this, you need to have good UV maps. And when you're baking, you need to do individual UV maps. What I mean by that is, when I'm going to bake this wall, I need to know they need to be separated from each other. And it doesn't know, when you're baking, it's not smart enough to know which ID is he going to apply to. What it does is does a full apply to only one map, one picture. So that's why when we're going to work this out, even if you have multiple IDs, the UV map, see like this, It cannot be like this because it will overlap with each other. So what we need to do is we need to go all IDs, select everything, and then we're going to flatten map. We need to have something like this. For this to work as one object, one material needs to work like this. For derivation purposes, you maybe want to separate each face, like each face to each own mesh, each one with their different ID, and bake each single one of them. It will take forever, but you can get a derivation. But remember, if you have too much lights, it will be more like a color change derivation type of thing, okay? Because they will, even if they put their own texture, it will always have your own material, unless you put a super white material and they can like multiply, and only the shadows and the reflections will stay and the white will disappear. That's a cool technique too. But remember, you have to separate each single one of them. Otherwise, you need to have one material just like this. One UV map where everything is separated, everything on the right size, everything checking correctly, everything single, so the map will apply singularity. And I will show you what I mean. I'm going to collapse this, but now. Okay. So now we reach the stage. We have a render. We're going to test it out. See, oh my God, yeah, it's looking pretty. Yeah, I like it, what it is, blah, blah, blah. The floor is very reflective. Nice. Okay, so about material, I feel like I haven't talked too much about this. So just a little bit for stuff to know for you to know. You can, there's a lot of tutorials out there how to change materials on YouTube. But pretty much what you care more about is diffuse color, which is right here. The diffuse, the roughness, the reflection, how much it reflects light. Transparency, you're not going to use this for the IMVU. Doesn't work. You work with opacity on the client itself. IOR for null reflection, not going to use this as well. This is for example, the fish eye effect stuff. When you look through a glass, that kind of effect will not work on the IMVU as well. Self-illumination will work. Simple self-illumination will work, and I will show you. Something else you can use that I show you is this library where you have a lot of materials and they have their own texture there, as you can see here on the American cherry. And you can come here to the American cherry. I think this is the one. No, this is one. You can come here and you can even change this. I think this is, what is this? This is, okay, so this one. You can come here and you can change a little bit. This will probably not work. This is a rough pattern probably will not work. We can give it a try. So the second thing we can do, ambient occlusion, we don't need that. You can change here the position of the wood. You can play around with this. We can even rotate it. You can even change with the scale. Sorry, I know it's very small. I'm going to be a little bit better. So you can play it out. Like imagine this is the floor of your room, for example. It will work out, okay? And you play around with those little steps by clicking here, in this case. But just play around. Don't be scared to try those stuff. Just play them around. Just don't touch anything that has samples. Don't touch that. That's render, okay? You can play with everything else. Okay. Oh, something else about material before I forget. If you go here, you have some templates. You can work on the Archon design. It can help you out as well. But I don't recommend using chromes and stuff because it will not work, because the IMVU will not accept this type of render. Okay, so keep it simple. Simple and pretty. As you can see here on the marble, we don't have much light here, but it looks like a gym bathroom type marble, whatever. And we can play that with that too. I'm pretty sure we can just go here and we have the same option right there. See, we can put the scale, the position. We can change everything we want on the material by clicking on those boxes. Not this one. This is the tile position. Well, this one is too. This is the tile position. This is the distribution of this. You can play around with this as well. So remember, everything here is playable. Okay. Okay. So now for our big finale. So what we want to do is press 0. Not on the keypad, on the number pad, sorry, but on top of the letter P, 0, okay? And we're going to get this window called Render to Texture window. So the first thing we want to do, we want to render this guy right here, okay? So when we're here, there's a few things we need to do. First, the padding. What is a padding? Padding is, I'm going to show you precisely what padding is. Padding is, you see the difference between, this is a padding. This to here, it's padding. So, but the padding on the render to texture is the padding from this green line to outside. So in this case, like 2 pixels. So it goes outside 2 pixels. So there's no problem. The texture will always fit good. That's good. We need some padding so everything goes right. So sometimes I even put this to 4, depending on how complex my UV map is. Okay. So 3 pixels outside of the line. That's good. So now the other thing we need to do, this is for something else. This is here, we can use them to make our automatic map, which what it does is it will flatten like I did on the room. All it does is flatten maps. That's all it does. Or we can use our resistant channel, which is this channel right over here. Normally it's always going to be 1 if you don't touch it, right here. So it's the channel of the UV map right over there, which is going to grab this UVs. So now the third thing we're going to do is we're going to add. We're going to have a complete map. This is what we want. We want a complete map. We're going to put this nothing. Okay. The second thing we're going to put is ambient occlusion, and we're going to put a shadow color map, and that's it. Now the samples we're going to put like let's say 126 for now, 120 for now. The more, and the spread we're probably going to put like 5 spread. Okay. You have to play with those values until you will see what I mean, until you get the grain out. Okay. So now on the top here, you have the output, which I choose as the IMVU Tutorial paste created for this tutorial, and render. This will happen, just say continue, okay? And voila. What we have here, we have our lights. Do they look too bright to you? Yes, they do kind of look too bright. Like this reflective floor, it's too weird, but it's because it's a reflective floor. But there you go, we have our shadows. It's working out. Something is working out good. But now I feel like it's too reflective. Okay, I feel like the floor is too reflective. So how do we fix this? We go here and we put less reflective. This is not the floor, is it? So which material is the goddamn floor? So what happened here is this was the floor, okay? But what happened is when you bake, it automatically takes the material out, okay? And yeah, it applies, there you go. I want this to be super reflective, actually. It's okay, even if it's gonna look a little bit, we can, it just so we see it well on the MView, the power of this, okay? So we have our render here. This is event occlusion, which pretty much is the shadows and lights of the map, okay? This is what you multiply on Photoshop over this to get the better result of your shadows, okay? This grain, it can be fixed by raising the samples that I show you. The samples right over there. There's better softwares to do this, but well, you can probably get a good result here. Okay, less spread, maybe fix it as well. This is where you choose the qual. Normally you want this, right, for the room but you can choose the side of your map right here. This is where you choose the side of the map. This is where you can put a different name if you want to. Okay. The complete map is what's going to give you the result that you like or you're looking for. So we're going to render this. Second thing, do not forget, is coming here and make sure it's JPEG, so it's easy for you to work with later. You can put any format you like. I have JPEG, God, because it's easy enough just to demonstrate you guys. So I'm just going to render this again. It takes a little bit, and this little bit takes a little bit more because I mean, right now it's super quick, but to make this take a little bit more, but it's going to give you more quality, is when you go to the render settings right down here. For example, if you put this to medium, instead of drafting just low, just for now, but you can put this, you can go crazy on this, but don't go too much. And then when you render, it's going to be a little bit more slow, but we're going to have more quality because we raise the quality of how we get the stuff. So it gets more, it's already more slow. It's taking more time to process the image, which is not what we want right now. Maybe if it goes quick, we can use this good image. If not, we're just gonna cancel it. For the tutorial, I don't want to be here doing render like crazy. So we just go back to being ugly and drafty. There you go. Low. Okay, but the more quality, the more results you get, okay? You can even put more final grass bounds. It's going to help you out. Just go check out. If I want, I can make a render tutorial, but I don't think that's IMVU related anymore. Okay, so the final render. So we get this again. We're going to see if we have our shadows. This is pretty much the floor, all the walls broken into pieces, and then it renders all the information that we get from here. And I feel like I'm rendering over nothing, okay? This is what happens, but you have to apply the material. If you render, remember to apply the material again and render again, because he will take the material out and apply the new map, okay? You always will do this. I don't know why it's a stupid automatic thing. I don't like it as well, but it would happen, so we gotta live with it. So there we have it. our ambient occlusion, a little bit less noisy. As you can see, it's starting to get smoother and smoother the more samples we give it, the less spread as well. And here are reflections, everything else is in here. So, all right, so maybe now, what would I like to see or show you guys more? How to get this IMVU. Now that we have our baked material right there with our beautiful stuff, there is a few things that are rendering, and I don't know if you noticed. We don't have these lights, and we can render this separately, or we can just do, which is attaching. Do not modify materials or materials, but it's gonna modify everything. Doesn't matter. So, oops. What we're gonna do is we're gonna attach this. It's gonna fuck up our, sorry, bad words. It's gonna destroy our materials. It's okay. So now we had all this geometry, just like that. Okay, this is if you're making your own texture. This is a good thing to do. The baking. This is where you show the real true power of baking. We can come here and we can flatten the crap out of this. Okay, so everything is flattened. Every object you see here, it's gonna be crazy in there. You're supposed to have good UV maps for this. Okay, I'm just using flatten so it's quick and easy and get it over with. This was width, I think. And you can just go select elements like I'm doing and assign like that, different materials as well. Okay, so what we have here is that if you render this out, we have the same thing we had before, but now it's only one object. Okay, wait a minute, I think we forgot something here. Yeah, we forgot about the little body over here, the walls. Okay, and apply the neon type look light. There you go. Now we have it. Okay, so now what's going to do now, if we render this out now, it's going to render every information on it. 0, that would be. And let's render this out. Ambient occlusion is supposed to have something in ambient occlusion. Now it doesn't have anything. Okay, so we're going to delete this out. Because now we're going to have a new complete map. And we're going to have a new ambient occlusion map. And as you can see now, it's gray. For some magical reason, we're not getting any more the ambient occlusion option because we had too many materials. There's too many derivations, but all we're going to do here as well is going to make sure this is set ID to 1. We're going to make sure we clear all and we auto smooth this. We go back here, see if it gives you an option. Now it's not giving me any options, and that's because I think we have multiple materials into one. So if you wanted to have the ambient occlusion, you have to go one by one. Okay, so I'm just gonna have the complete map right now, and I'm gonna render this out. Let's see what we get. So now if you render this out, as you can see, we get all those crazy lights. Everything is spread across the map, but look at that, reflective nicely. Okay, now we have our map. There you go. We have our map with everything in it, so it's more easy for this tutorial. But remember, you're not supposed to do it like this. Okay, you're supposed to go one by one, and at the end, maybe you can put some things together, get some nice shadows. Work it out slowly. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna isolate this guy. And we're going to go on materials, and we're going to add, let's say we had more than one material, but for now, let's say we're going to use the same technique as before. I'm going to have the standard, and on this standard, we're going to drop in the number 0. I'm going to put number 1 because we can. And on this guy, we're going to put a bitmap, and that bitmap is exactly this. This is our texture. And we're going to apply this to this guy. And look what happens. Now, if we select this guy, thank you very much. Look what happens. It's exactly, well, not exactly, but you get, this is close enough. Okay, what happens is the only thing you're not getting here is like I said, the reflectivity. Okay, to get the reflectivity is there, but it's not pulling it out. As you can see, this is a reflectivity. So, but you don't see it very well, even if you render this out. So the image needs some treatment probably, okay? Because it's right there, see a little bit right there? It's there, but it's very fade, okay? But you can see how powerful this is already. You can see all the lights, all the shadows, everything you can do right there. even if the shadow, right, this shadow is moving, it's not supposed to be moving, it's because we still have lights, okay? We still have lights in our scene, and it's still playing around with those, okay? So if we go back here and we apply just this material, for example, and we render this out, see, the lights are still affecting, even if we only have one material. And this, what I want to do now for the end, I'm just going to put a very one material. Maybe this is how we would make it derivable. We want to scratch that. We're going to see if we can get more. So we're going to render this again. The box, going to press 0. Now, as you can see, we have again a sex to the maps because we only have one material instead of multiple materials, okay? The problem is when you have more than one material, it kind of destroys the fun. So, for example, if I want this and this guy over here, we're going to detach this guy. They would needed to be, they both needed to be separated from the main group, okay? So if I want to get that look again, oops, I just added to the room. Just see, you can see this is just showing you the problems you can get with doing this for the IMVU. You need to be careful how you bake this, okay? So you need to separate materials so we get again this crazy nice looking result. So what we go here, we go back here, and we can get now an AO maybe with 256 samples. We put the spread to 4, and now we render this out and continue. So now we're gonna get again those strong looking, looks pretty good here. Maybe not gonna look so good when the final result, because sometimes what looks here doesn't look like in the final result. So look again, and voila, we have our ambient occlusion, and we have our, but as you can see, it doesn't have too much information about, doesn't look the same, almost close enough, but it's very fading. That's because of the size of the map as well. So if we make a bigger map, we get more detail, obviously. So as you can see here, now I'm going to get more detail from the map, which is obvious. Let's see what we got here. You can see this white, it's reflective, okay? This is just reflections on the wall, on the ground and stuff. And they're there, you can see right there, see? You just have to play with the light, the values, the size of the text a little bit maybe, but don't overdo it because this is for IMVU. So if you can only get the light, just be happy about it. And if you go here, there's our reflections. There you go. And our ambient occlusion as well. So how to finish and wrap this up? I was doing it right now. Let's go finish and wrap this up. Now we have another one. We have this for the walls. Am I right? And then we're gonna have one for the bright guys. This number 2. And in here we haven't baked it, so we need to bake this out. So it's the same process. Just clock here. All we need on this guy is this. It's gonna be pure white. I'm just telling you right now. It's gonna be pure white. There you go. And I need the same for this guy as well. Add a complete map and render it up. Okay, so this guy doesn't even have UV maps, which is a no-no. So I should probably just select them and flatten and get some whatever maps and render it out. Okay, there you go. Okay, so now we render this out. We should have another one just for tutorial purposes and because it's 3 pieces differently. Voila. On this one, we're gonna add but this one, and this one. Oops. Okay, this one. Okay. The second one is gonna be then the walls. Okay. We have our multi-sub object ready. We're gonna select and we're gonna apply. Okay, look how strong Gamba immediately gets. Nothing you can do about it. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come here, we're gonna take all the lights out. Okay. We're gonna come here, realistic materials with maps, and voila. This is all broken, and again, it's because of the texture map, okay? Because of the UEV. The UEVs are not good, okay? So this happens because the UEV was not really properly worked. Now you see this effect is probably what you see a lot of times on the IMVU, and the Y map is not working out as well because we haven't assigned this. So we need to come in here and tell them you are number 3, and this guy is number 2. Okay. Okay. Nope. Nope. No, number 2. You don't like me. It is number 2. It is good. What's going on? What is going on with you, buddy? It is this one, isn't it? Yeah, number 2. Okay, we're having some problems here because the map sucks. I'm doing very quick UV maps. This is because it is a 512 by 512 texture. It will happen, but as you can see, it creates you the reflective right there. Okay? And again, this looks like this because it's a bad UV map, okay? The better the UV map you do, the better results you're gonna get. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put this set ID to number 3, and it's gonna be pure white, okay? Oh, it's supposed to be pure white. It's supposed to be white on this one as well. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe it's a flip problem. Oh. I think it was a flip problem. Yeah, I think it was. As you can see, you get no, flip again. You get the effect of the light right there. Again, you have to play with the values to make the right. This is another reflection of this. You need to play this around until you get something you like, or even the lights already being in there, it's already a big help. When you do together with your Photoshop textures, you can get a lot of results. But this is how you bake textures, pretty much. To put on IMVU now, it's simple. Just do the same process. Skin it. See, and hide this, all of this. Let me select the children. Just skin it to the skeleton. You can do a multiple skinning here. Why not? Like that. You just tie out the skeleton. Where are you, buddy? And it should be okay. And then you export this, and it should be just fine. Actually, you should first export the skeleton. No, but I already have this. No, you should put it together. Skeleton. Finish. And now the room. Remember, you can use this for everything. Any texture, anything you want. You can literally do this for everything. And then I would need to export this guy as well. It's gonna call room 2. I don't give them. Voila. Now, if we go on the IMVU, the room that I'm deriving, by the way, this one is called, it's an empty derivable. There's always an empty derivable version of something, so I'm just using this empty derivable like this one. So I'm just gonna add I'm gonna come on desktop, IMVU Tutorial. I'm gonna go for this room, add another one, add room 2. But there's a mistake here somewhere for sure, but we don't care right now. We're just showing you the power of this, and I think we did a pretty good job. And apply changes. So you can see now there's no lights in this room. You needed to work this out. You need to be careful with this as well. We didn't fix the normals, so this wall will not face and this will happen. Okay, so you need to be careful with those little details. I think this material 0, I don't know what this is. This is using blending. We don't want blending, so we're gonna delete this. I don't know where this blending came from. Soft illuminator makes it way too dark. But as you can see the power of texture to render. You can see that, of course, you would have had to work more. This was just quick to show you how it works. As you can see, there's no lights in the room. We didn't use any Photoshop. We did anything, just everything on max. And the more quality maps and the more better you can do, the better. So, for example, this guy is absolutely horrible because the UV is absolutely horrible. But I want you to really understand this. I don't want you to think that you're hanging. You would need to do a good UV map, okay? Oh, not this one. This guy. Okay. So the better the UV map, the better the quality you would get from this, okay? See, even this would be already better. But what you wanted to do with this guy is just get all this together and just work it out, okay? Maybe make a peel or something, Just work your UVs to the way they look good, okay? It's very important. And the second thing you need to worry about is the quality, which you can, always choose the quality, the smaller, the highest, and then you can go on Photoshop and tweak it so you make it sharper, you make it better. And the little neon here didn't work out very well because the UV map was kind of let's be honest. Look at that. I mean, look at that. What is this? It's obviously not going to work out. Okay, it needs to be better UV map, and then you need to add little details to the white to be a little bit better. But as you can see, it's a very powerful tool. You can make a lot of detail with this if you use it right. Now you have the power. I want to see what you can do with this technique. This is not the most beautiful result, but as you can see, technique was taught. It's went to, you can multiply maybe this on top of something. There's a lot of things you can do with this. There's a lot of results you can get. I'm actually curious to see what you're going to show me. Remember to not get funky results like this. Make good UV maps. Work a little bit of texture on Photoshop. Sharpen it up. Smooth some edges. Make some shines on the neon. If this was a neon, work a little bit on Photoshop a little bit at least play with the values, the contrast and stuff, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna get some good results. I'm just glad I showed you this technique. Have a good time, and I see you next time.